He locked my claustrophobic sister in a shed for 3 hours just to hear her scream, so I made sure he never felt safe behind a closed door again. My sister, Alara, is 14, but she has the heart of a frightened bird. She suffers from severe claustrophobia. Small, dark spaces don't just scare her, they shatter her. Then there was Mason. Mason is 21, a neighborhood bully who never grew out of pulling pigtails. He thought it would be hilarious to trick Alara into the old gardening shed at the back of the park and slide the heavy rusted bolt shut. He sat outside on a stump, laughing and recording audio on his phone, while my sister scratched at the wood until her fingernails bled, screaming for help in the pitch black. I found her curled in a ball, catatonic. The police said it was a cruel prank, but since there was no physical battery, they couldn't arrest him. They told me to take it up with his parents. Mason's parents just shrugged and said, boys will be boys. I looked at Alara's bandaged fingers and realized that Mason needed to learn what it feels like to be trapped. I didn't go to his house to shout. Noise is for the weak. Silence is for the predator. I needed to understand the geography of his fear. I spent the next week watching him from a parked car down the street. I learned that Mason lived in the finished basement of his parents' house, a space with only one exit and tiny, high windows. He was a night owl, gaming until 4 a.m., but I also learned he was lazy. He often left the basement walkout door unlocked so his friends could come and go. He thought he was the king of his little dungeon. He didn't know the dungeon master was coming. The first time I slipped inside, he was upstairs eating dinner. The basement smelled of stale chips and humidity. I moved quietly, a ghost in the machine. I didn't break his things. I altered his environment. I used a screwdriver to remove the interior handle of the bathroom door, leaving it on the counter. I took the keys to his car and hid them inside the vent. I moved his heavy dresser 2 inches in front of the closet door, just enough to make it stick. When he came down later, I watched from the window. Well, he spent 10 minutes shouting when the bathroom door wouldn't open easily. He was annoyed. He wasn't broken yet. 3 nights later, I escalated. I waited until he was asleep on his futon. I crept in, silent as a draft. I stood over him, listening to the hum of his computer, and took a Polaroid photo of his face. I taped it to the ceiling directly above his head. On the white border, I wrote in thick black marker, "The walls are getting closer." I also placed the rusted padlock from the park shed on his pillow. He didn't sleep in the basement that night. I saw him running upstairs, pale and shaking, clutching a baseball bat. He told his parents someone was breaking in. They found nothing. They told him to stop making up stories. He was alone. The finale was a lesson in isolation. It was a moonless Friday. I cut the power to the house from the outside box. The basement went pitch black. I was already inside, standing in front of the only exit door, wearing a black tactical suit and a mask that looked like a smooth, featureless mannequin. I heard him waking up, hyperventilating, knocking over soda cans in the dark. "Mom! Dad! The power's out!" he yelled, his voice cracking. I didn't answer. I just dragged my fingernails slowly down the wood of the doorframe. Skirt. He shined his phone light toward the sound. When the beam hit the mask, he froze. I tilted my head and whispered, "Now you know what 3 hours feels like." He didn't charge. He collapsed. He scrambled backward, screaming a raw, primal sound, backing himself into a corner, sobbing like a child. He was hyperventilating, clawing at the wall behind him. He refused to stay in the basement. He slept in his car for 3 days before moving out entirely. Allegations emerged that he was suffering from severe anxiety and paranoia. He moved to a studio apartment in the city, somewhere on the 10th floor, with big windows. Alara is doing better. She's playing a garden. And Mason? I hear he never closes his bedroom door anymore.